Hey, well listen, can I just say firstly, thanks for coming out here to Ōrewa Beach. Mark and I have been spending some time in the community this morning, and I just want to say thank you, Mark, for all your great leadership in this community. We spent time at Silverdale Fire Service Station this morning, and it was great to be able to catch up with the St John's teams, the fire service teams, the surf life-saving teams, and also I know the police have been a big part of it. But the community response here has been really fantastic in the way that those services have come together, worked together. They've obviously been very important to supporting the people of Ōrewa as well and relieving over there as well. And so that's what this morning's been about. With that, happy to take any questions you have.
Do you think that the $4 million allocated by the government to support farmers and growers is enough? Because growers are saying they can't personally access that money and it's not right now.
No, look, I mean, let's be really clear. We're going to need a proper East Coast recovery set of funds. That's going to be dealing with the hard infrastructure around bridges and roads, more akin to what we saw, I'd say, in Kaikoura. But we definitely need to get support to growers and to other businesses, particularly in Napier and Wairoa and other places that will be doing it really tough. So, yeah, I'm expecting that the government is working incredibly hard over the coming days and very quickly to be able to help relieve growers with some of the costs that they've got coming their way. Sorry, I don't know about it. I don't know where it is. It's not nearly enough for what's going to be needed for a total industry that's been utterly devastated.
Would you give some urgency to sitting down with all interested parties, including government, local government, infrastructure providers, insurances, etc., to talk about how to best manage retreat from high-prone areas?
Well, look, I mean, that's what I've been talking about in the last few days, is that, you know, there is no doubt we're going to have more extreme weather-related events. We have, and it's going to be a multi-decade effort over many different governments of different colours in the coming years. And we're going to need to be able to think very deeply about how we build more climate adaptation and infrastructure that supports climate adaptation.
What specifics?
And so the issue is a complex one, because you're right, the burden of proof sits with insurance companies, it sits with individual property owners, it sits with ratepayers and councils, it sits with taxpayers and the central government. It sits with how much do you balance between this generation and the next generation. And so actually every country around the world is wrestling with that, and we need to be able to get the framework in place in order to be able to make sure we've got a basis going forward around making sure we build much more resilient infrastructure.
Do you have any concerns over who might have to pay for managed retreat?
Well, as I said, complex issue, and you know, you've got to there's going to be, it's a combination, I suspect, of insurance companies, individual property owners, local councils, and central government, and that's the framework that we've got to get right. So over the coming decades, we've got a common starting point and a common basis for going forward with it.
Did you promote Todd Muller because of his good relationship with James Shaw?
I promoted Todd Muller because he's a world-class brain, and I want him to synthesise climate change and particularly agriculture as well. And that's why, you know, and he and I think very similarly around climate change, and we're very committed to actually making sure we deliver on our climate change, climate goals for 2050, net carbon zero, NDC goals for 2030, and that's why we supported the government's emissions reductions budgets as well last year. Great. Well, can I say thank you so much for coming out here. Really appreciate it. And again, Mark, fantastic work here in the local community. Awesome to see the services working together so well and supporting people. That's what it's all about, making sure that we can actually get the Kiwis that are still doing it incredibly tough, displaced from their homes, communities still being cut off, people that have lost their livelihoods, and families that have lost loved ones. You know, that's what it's all about at the moment, is making sure they've got the support that they need. Thanks so much. Take care.